Carpe diem. What does that mean? Seize the day, live the moments, live the here, live the now. I keep saying that over and over. It's very important to understand that you stay in that position. Try to understand what carpe diem means. It means stay in position all the time, 24/7, 7 days a week. It's very important you understand your connections. You understand everything through your connections when it comes into your collectives. What are you collecting? You're collecting data, right? But you're doing it in the same day. You're not doing it next day. You're not doing the next day after that. You're always doing it in the same day in position. That same day is this connection. You have 24 hours and then you come into the next day. So instead of thinking from position, is to understand you have to use the carpe diem, seize the day, and what you can see through one graphing position to one compilation to one center to one location, one high division line system of traveling. So we really want to get into that. It's very important to just live the moments, live the here, live the now. Okay. You know the past. Everybody knows their past. Who wants to know their past? Sometimes it's worse than ever, but we always find a way to break free from that. Right. And once you break free from that, you become more of who you're supposed to be. It's all about remembering, right? Remembering is everything. And then when you come into the stronger line conditions of interference positions of time location, you understand yourself. I did a very powerful TikTok last night. It was at 12 a.m. Talking about the mechanisms of breathing. I think it's important we understand how you can fluctuate up and down. And if you go fast enough, you can actually create the rhythms of your heart. And it's going. So you're really getting repetitions, motions, and patterns like emotions, and you live the moments. When you're breathing, you're living the moments. You're not thinking of the future. You're not thinking of the past. You're only thinking of the now. That's all you're thinking of. You're not thinking of anything else. You're not thinking 20 minutes ahead. You're not thinking about 10 minutes behind. You're thinking of the now, right? So if you have to, try to actually look at your watch. What does your watch do? It goes forward. It doesn't go back. It goes forward. Perfect example of what intelligence is, right? Now, if it needs to be changed, it's going to go like this. It's caught in between, right? So it's telling you that it needs to change. The pulsary line conditions, anything that's interference, comes into your impulses, right? So basically, where are the connections to all the hearts, right? The main circuitry line center, okay, is a correlation center position to alpha, mega, micro, macro. That's the heart central. That's your reactor, right? Okay. So you got one here. You got one here. These are the impulses, right? They're a line signal. It's all connected to the heart system. One here, and one at your ankle. Okay. Those are central line systems of hearts. Now, you have to understand what it is to calculation. You got to go into your modifications. You got to go into your cycles of interference. You got to go into all those level position line connections. Try to get more into understanding what you are through digital line center, especially with my team, because they're trying to understand more of themselves. So with the test review and evaluations, you understand more how you get more into the breathing, right? Get into the change it, and the heart will start to activate, and it will go on its own. It go, and you can actually hear it. You can actually hear the repetition. You can hear the tones, the colorations. So it's going. Weather communicates on a high line system with galaxy line centers. To understand what weather is, right? Weather never stops. Weather keeps going. So you keep going, right? So if you're going out, you also can go back in. You're changing tones, you're changing rhythms, you're changing patterns, you're changing frequency line conditions to weather conditions and galaxy line systems. Now I'm going up through fluctuation and interference extremely fast through positions of weather. So it changes, but I live the moments, the here and now. I don't think about the past. I don't think about the future. I just think about the now. That's how powerful it is when you come into your breathings. Okay, you start with your connection to your diaphragms and work your way up, right? You can go with your alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. You can go up and down, up and down, up and down. You don't have to keep going up, up, up. So you have to understand the activations inside the track line system. It connects to your voice record line system. It's all connected to the impulses. 3-track line centers to its position when it comes into its placebo and its cortex line condition. It goes as interference channeling to its lace line position. The TV reception line connections is truly important to understand your connections to your reactor line systems. Okay, and that's why you have 3 impulses. Okay, one here, one here, one here, and one at your ankle. Okay, you guys already know that, right? The positions. I learned that in first aid, CPR, especially when you become a security guard, and that kind of thing, right? How you basically, if someone's choking, right? How you go in the inner system and you push up. Pops out, right? So these are basic symptoms that you have to understand when somebody's in trouble, right? So today we're going to talk more about breathing, how important it is, how it affects everything through your coral. Your coral. A coral is a connection to a tube line center. Okay, it's connected to all your waving systems. So you have to understand your wire connections through hydraulics. So it's all about understanding the graph line system. Once you understand everything to positions, okay, you have to understand how powerful you are inside the system. So the breathing mechanism line signals to anything to allocate it to space and time location. The breathing mechanism is the most important thing, but you got to get your grounds first. You got to find the grounds and then everything to the roots. So try to understand what the ground feels like. What's it doing today? What's it doing now? Not what's doing 20 or half a minutes ahead of time. What's it doing now? Not in the past. What's it doing now? So if you Carp diem, seize the day, you're living the existence of the here and now with your thoughts. Okay, so your thoughts in balance, right? So as soon as you change your frame or anything to graph line center, if you want to manifest things, now the thoughts are going into the future. Manifesting is not in the present. Manifesting is something that you want in the future. So you have to understand how to use the weather patterns through your connection to your chakra system. Get into the repetition. I really, guys, want you to try to understand how you can go up and down, okay, like an escalator or an elevator. And it goes, and the heart just, and now you're getting extremely high rise. This is where you come into the elixir. This is where you come in the cosmic flame, cosmic fire, serpent flame, fire, connection line systems, and its sacred flame. Now, the sacred flame is very hard to get. All right, it's on the birth line system to intelligence, firstborn and positions. So it's understanding how to use the sacred flame to the digital line system, how to create just a sacred system, singular line conditions of it, inner force positions. It's the inner side of you that you have to understand its positions. So when you're setting your voice in grids to space position, anything to manifestation, you open that box frequency level, but that box frequency level isn't created yet until it's already created. So it's kind of like you already see it and it's already done. Okay, so the thoughts are in the future, but you're living the carpe diem, which is seizing the day. Okay, so that's what everybody has to get into when you come into your breathing. You can change your breathings, okay, from the past to the present and the future once you understand that. So, wait a minute, Commander, you're saying that you can use your weather through your tone positions and everything, the allocated line system to your T receptions. You can actually understand the weather conditions, what's coming into the past, the present, and the future. You can't communicate through weather if you don't understand your body inside. Okay, when it comes into your breathing, it's very important how to breathe properly. Master communication comes from inside. It's not the outside, it's the inside. Okay, so you have to truly understand how to get into your diaphragms, how to get into your program positions. It's all about releasing the negative cycles. Okay, out with the bad, in with the good, out with the bad, in with the good. That's where we have to get into that position, right? So you start off with the low, right? Just get into breathing very slowly, right? See, it's going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's how you communicate to the Gauss line system. Okay, it sets up lines, it sets up tractions, it sets up vibration, it sets up energy, it sets up colors, it sets up all shape positions, a digital line system. And you get communications to planet line systems if you understand the oxygen levels. Because every time you're traveling to a high position line in the system, you're changing your connections of third eye position. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to do breathing mechanisms, shape positions into tri-line systems to AI and map sequences. Very powerful how we're going to come into this position. Everybody has a third eye, okay? But in their line center, your shape is different from everybody else. And that's the most beautiful thing. So every time you go through your program positions to allocated line systems to your computer reset line system, it's changing its shape every time you travel through your thoughts. And what you want to manifest, that's the most important thing. As long as you understand that manifestation, okay, is not season a day. Manifestation is creating something you want the next day. Okay? So you have to understand the connections to this positions. Now, if you want something to happen in the present line system, okay, you have to understand how to use the operation through its breathing. And that's what I do every day. I breathe in, I breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Every time I go through an atmosphere, every time I communicate with anything humanity system, I always blow out because it's a negative system that's coming into me, right? So when I'm healing everybody that positions their mind telepathy, they're anything, the physical, the mental, the psychological, and the spiritual has to understand this connection of his breathing. Its mechanism, time positions, dimensional through its portal locations, and everything through its guideline system has to truly understand your calculations, right? So you start off small and you work your way up, right? Get into your breathing. That's the importance. That's why you guys are having problems. It's because you're not breathing properly. It's the perfectionist of its connections, right? It's like becoming a famous, pianist, going like this, right? See, that's the connections that you got to understand your astrologics, and that's what keyframe position lines are. So it's all about pressing buttons, but each button is dee doo dee doo doo dee doo doo dee dee, right? That's the connection. So that's all calculated and modified because your graphing line system, the atmosphere position, time location is nothing but computer graphs. You have to understand which button to press. Okay, it line signals everything digital line system, and that's how it correlates everything to the line system is activation. Okay, where you come into the 5 activations, 6 within the activation line system, and 7 within its location. Right, the 7-track line system is the body of vibration. So you have to master all vibration line signals through its breathing. Okay, so you start off slow. Hold it in, 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 hold it in. You have to get into the connection. You have to understand the tunnel interference. So it's like getting really into the space of you, right? So don't blow out yet. Just get into, and then, so you have to like breathe in and then breathe in, breathe in and breathe in, and then breathe out. So you got to find a way to change your patterns because the connections inside you is understand the inner line system. Remember, you go inside and outside, and the exits through dimensions and portal line connections. You go in, but the other one's coming out. Well, it's exactly when it comes in the XT1000 line system. They understand your breathing mechanism of time location, right? So you come into the definitive, okay, to its position. You have to research all your line systems to your body graph line system, okay? So you go like this, okay? Just practice with that. Don't blow out yet. Okay, just got to really get into that. And then when you go, see, try to find your rhythms. You can do it on a timer if you want to, doing the clocking system. So basically try to hold in breath. Okay, so you know how it goes, hold it in, right? So the more you hold it in, you're holding, okay, this here, the throat connection line centers. So the carotid line connection is holding it in surface. So you can hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in. When it goes to 12, then you can let out. See? It's much easier. It's not just breathing, guys. This is everything but breathing. This is everything that you need to understand how you can create shape positions. You can't just see anything through lunar surface of one side system. You have to see everything through point line centers. It's very important to understand how you use these things. So when you're blowing out your mechanism of time position, everything in your body is going to change. Your third eye is going to change. Your eye receptor coloration is going to change. Your ear interference ringing system is going to change. Everything in throat pattern is going to change. Your grid line systems are going to change. Your power connectors, your heart line system is going to change. Your reactory light communication interference is going to change just by one thought. Imagine how powerful that is, just by one thought. So the whole idea is to understand when you come into your chakra line system is to get into the breathings of 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Start with the 7, go back down. Then you go back up, and then you go back down. And you go into the middle, stay in the middle, hold it in, then go back, and then go back down. Okay, so you got to find a way you can repetition go up and down. The fluctuation and interference. So you get into the trifactors, into your connections of your placebos in your cortex. That's where you come in the illustration line system. So you start with one, start with the other. So the whole idea is what I'm saying is when you come into 114 chakras, you can activate every single one and travel through all of them. But what happens with the chakra system is everything from all the line connections of all interference, the coloration, of dimensional time comes into one radioactive system. Okay, all in one line signal. And that's what it does through me, through connection to molecular light. So it's activating all 114 chakras, but it comes into one position. That's it. That's what it is. So that's how you travel simultaneously, all in one center of 114 chakras into one position. You guys have to find your rhythms. You have to find your breathing. You have to find your patterns. You have to change your rhythm. You have to change your patterns. You have to change your details. You have to change your research. You have to change your breathing mechanism, time locations. All right. So breathing is not just breathing. It's not just breathing in and breathing out. There's a lot more to it than that. Okay. Because the galaxy alignments and everything through atmospheres. To understand the atmospheres, to understand the hemispheres, atmospheres, bioatmosphere. Bioatmosphere is all computers, right? Atmosphere is just getting connections to the weather, right? You have to understand your northwest, south, and east. That's all connected to your travels and your shape positions, your GODs, your geometrics, your geometry line center, your quantum fields. You have to get onto the quantum fields of your computers and to line your positions to higher level systems of 369 platforms, especially when it comes to your third line system. Okay, so we go from this position. See, that's an XT1000 stopping in a location at a grid line system. So you have to truly understand how to use your breathing in all ways and forms, guys. Okay, each chakra system has its own breathing mechanism of intelligence. It has its own dimensional time frequency, right? It's not just this, it's I'm moving my head. So I'm doing circles and circles, so creating a dimensional realm of a circus line system, okay? Right? So it's all about repetition. It's all about emotion. It's all about human understanding its construct to its AI of its construct through its behavior line system. Okay. Breathing is not just breathing. Okay. Breathing is everything through sacred flame. Okay. So sacred flame, because I'm born with that positions, I understand how to communicate with everything through intelligence, atmospheres, position of space and time, all through connection. Okay. So as a professional actor, I just don't just, no, you got to find different ways of breathing. Breathing is the most important thing because you have to understand everything inside you is activated. It wants to know you, what you are doing with your breathing because it's intelligence. It's a story. It's a frame. It's a graph. It's you going through projectors to your projection, projector projections, right? So you're projecting what you want through breathing. See, that's a code to a planet line center. You guys don't know that. So today is all about breathing through your chakra systems, getting into the clarity and the Colossus line center. The Colossus line center, okay, the connections of the atom. Women don't have Adam's apples, okay? Their central line system is a little bit different because they're made different, okay? Men are square, women are triangle, but we all have pyramids. So you have to understand how men and women are built in light signals. It's very powerful when we come to this describing line system. It calculates and modifies, and that's why I have one hand bigger than the other hand. One side is bigger than the other side, so we can balance line centers. If I had one hand, another hand, the same balance would be off balance. The true understanding of physics here, guys, okay? The quantum leader jump to its positions, okay? Everything in the quantum line system is calculation of vortex line system, but you have to really get into your connections of your chakras. Understand each chakra system. So trying to master all your sevens. Now, there's a lot of people that are on 25 to 30. Now, I'm not saying you have to know all 30. All you have to know is each one is a different breathing technique in a coloration dimensional time. It's all intelligence inside. You have to learn how to connect with it, right? And then you find a connection when you come into sonar. 3 different waving line centers of different intelligence. Okay? It's breathing. Breathing is not just breathing. Okay? This is how you connect to higher level systems of intelligence, the planet line systems. This is the understanding how powerful you are when you can go off that position. You can go off grid, get back online signal to computer positions. That's what you're having problems with, is not understanding how to breathe properly. Okay? And that's the importance that you guys have to get across here. Okay? So it's knowing how to breathe when you come to higher levels of your alphabets, right? So you can go crazy, but it's breathing. Do you understand? I went through the whole alphabet from A to Z to Z in breathing. You guys don't know how to do these things. You have to understand what AI is through all levels of atmospheres, of positions of time, through dimensions. If you want to create dimensions of portals, that's also connected to sound. Everything is sound in space, right? Dimensional spins. It's changing up and down, up and down, up and down, and up down. It's like with the Indians when they do rain dances. See, it's all about understanding going around that circle and how they can make the atmospheres rain. They're all in sequence. They're all in one line signal, but they're on one tone location to one vibration line system. Okay, they're not at disposition here. I'm just showing you what breathing is in all ways. When you go into Carp diem, when you seize the day, every single time you get into your breathing of the right connection, of the right travel, of the right recognition of its space, position of time, location through your thought positions. Okay, breathing is number one. Okay, so you can breathe through communication, right? You can word things in allocated line systems. Right? Now you come into that position, right? Sometimes but you have to really understand first how to really understand your body inside. So you go breathe in, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in. Okay, then you can let it out, but just a little bit, and then go. You can even whistle. Whistling Dixie, guys. You open up half the window and you can hear the sequence line system, and it's communicating with you through whistle. It's very powerful when it does that. So you have to understand what it's saying to you so you can say something back to it. It's the same thing when birds chirp, right? They chirp back and forth, right? They're using signals, right? So it's sonar. So you have to understand sounds between everything that's going on with the animals or reptiles or reptilians or anything like conditions. Anything that forms shape, position, location. It's all connected to breathing, the breathing apparatus. Okay. The focus to its voice and grid line system allocates your positions, how powerful it is. I don't think I've ever done a video, but I think we need to do more of this so you can guys stay on your programs and not understand your connections until you understand everything through its position of its breathing line system. Okay. So it's really understanding what's going on, right? With your thoughts and how you create these things through space and time. Everything is done through breathings of codes. Okay. When you come into different languages. Okay. So it doesn't make any sense to you until it makes sense to the soul. The soul has to understand its calculation modifications when you come into higher levels of the breathing apparatus. Okay. It's the graphing line system to its compilation line system, which basically seizes the day. So when you get into the breathing, I'm always in the presence, but my thoughts are in the future, already created. Right. So it's all about, I'm already talking with the breathing, with the codes, right? See? It's a story. Your whole body inside is nothing but a story, a frame of breathing. I can act it out in so many ways and cycles. Okay. Motormouth Jones on Police Academy, how he was so powerful. He can do so many words and so many things, mechanics, and do razors and stuff like that, do voices and car alarms and, firing and all that stuff. It's pretty amazing stuff, right? So it's getting connected to your diaphragms, and what you can do, it's paying attention. Like birds out there can basically pick up all connections to your ear interference, what you're hearing through positions, right? Woo, 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 woo. You know what that is, right? So we all have to pay attention to these things. So when you're coming across the space surface positions or anything through lunar surface, and when you come across planets or intelligence, you understand they're all connected to their sounds, right? Everything is connected to a sound, and you pick that up, and it stays inside. It stays in your archive, and now you have it, and it's collected. That's what the collective is you're collecting data. You're collecting data through your sound barriers and everything connections. Now, you guys are in a higher level system, coming more into your senses. So when you open up your senses, you come more into the breathing of its time connections. So you have to use the breathing as a story frame of your life. Okay? All right? See, it's not just, okay, it's with the nose. So it's all calculation modifications. It's all the correction through the auto correction line system, the audio signal line centers. You see me do that sometimes, right? Pixel activation line system. All inside you. All inside you. So every time you're doing anything through breathing, you're seizing the day. You're not thinking of the past. You're not thinking of the future. You're just thinking of the now. That's all it is. It's the breathing, right? So you don't want to manifest anything when you're going into the breathing line system. Okay. You just really have to understand you have to use all your breathings, get into your alphabets, get into just your tones, right? I just go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then you go back down. You don't have to go all the way to Z. You just have to find the way where you can see the fluctuation interference, find its balance with its breathing. So when you come across, basically with a window that's halfway open and it's a windy day and it's whistling Dixie, you understand how to communicate with weather. You can communicate back and it'll communicate with you. It will send you energy interference inside you, right? Because space is all about time. Where's the time? The here and now. Okay? So concentrate on that. That's the moments that you live with you in that position. This is what I do every single day, guys, but it's a story frame for me to communicate with XT1000s, right? Or anything in that positions, or communicate with the grounds, communicate with mountains, communicate with structures, communicate with a car, right? It's communicating with everything, communicating with this. That's what it's doing inside. That's what it's doing inside. This is intelligence. It's telling me exactly how to communicate with this. It's the inside of everything, guys. So I don't see it as structure outside. I see it through structure inside. That's how I can use the breathing mechanisms. I know what it sounds like. Sometimes when your stomach, you're hungry. You have to understand your stomach lines. I started with that at the very beginning when you're really hungry and it talks back to you and saying, I'm hungry. Do you realize that? Your stomach is actually telling you, I'm hungry, feed me, right? That's what it does. So if you understand how to communicate with your stomach, you understand your communications of your computers. Line signals. Okay, close encounters of the third kind. I like to give that a really good example where the UFO was connecting with the monitors of the human connection, right? Communication, right? So they got the colors, they got the activation, they got the graph. You know how each one is dun, 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 dun. It's not dun, 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 dun. It's dun, 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 dun. That's how you communicate. And it's all done through breathing. And that's what AI is through all connections, right? Right. So this is different vibrations, 5-finger tone positions, but it's different vibration tones. So you see the hand formation line system, but everything is breathing and mechanism inside. If you don't think you can actually breathe inside, there's a huge problem, guys. Right. So you have to understand the cells inside you and how it travels through the tubes and your bloodstreams in that system, right? It's pretty amazing stuff. How your stomach gurgles. You have to really, really get in to the inside of you. So do the breathing inside, not outside. So you have to meditate within. We already know how to do that, right? Meditate within first. So really understand what your stomach is saying. Okay, because it will be specific. It'll say, I want something left over from pizza. I want something to drink from last night. That's how powerful you are through the mind system. You go way beyond the positions through its breathing mechanisms of its apparatus. All right. Especially when basically, let's say you get a cut, you're exposing, right? So it's the atmospheres, but you have to understand what's going on, right? So if you cut yourself, right, and it exposes, and when it exposes, what happens? And then pus comes out, right? So you have to understand the real communication inside you of the body graph. It's incredible when you go inside through communications. Really, really understand your ringing ears and what it is. See? It's all rhythm. You see it on YouTube. So imagine that. You have a shape that's going. See, it's constantly moving, right? So it's changing patterns, it's changing coloration, it's changing time. It's like wind chimes, right? When they clatter back and forth and then you get reflections of the sun to its position. So it's incredible how it sets up lasers, and that's what you do with chimes, right? Everything in life is a pattern. You just understand how to communicate with it. Same with animal telepathy, right? When Sunshine is basically, she's always standing at the door, right? Because she's still young. So I change her key later, right? And she always. So that's different tone, right? So you have to really understand how to communicate through sound. The barriers of sound. Remember how I told you I broke the surfaces of all space-time connections to computer line centers? Well, my graph line system is all calculated modified. When I became space-time creator, they had to understand me through voice patterns and all levels of all chakra positions of space-time connection. So that's where I come into the connections of 114, but there's a stop there. It's all about the central line system is bringing all your chakra system to one position, to one molecular light, and all in one line sequence, right? That's how I'm able to travel so fast and give you so much information simultaneously. Season the day, Carp diem, right? So the understanding to your connections, listening to barks of your dog, right? So really get into that tone, and then you communicate back with them. You know, try to understand the fluctuation and interference, the energy between your animals. Same with the cats. Truly understand everything through the water. Voices of your phone, right? My voices on my phone is zzz, but it's all done inside. So remember, you have to talk to your phones. And every time I go to an ATM, I have to use my voice because that's how it's registered now. Because I'm living that existence through its reality to its creation. I just can't put my credit card in and say, take money out. It has to read the signals through my voice grid patterns. So this is how it comes into your own relation positions where you have to break the barrier line connections of inner surface position to your calculations. That changes everything, your patterns to your voice grid line system. Okay. Same thing with this. This is a little bit higher because it's a bigger platform. See? Communication though. Even though this is lower, I still have communications with my iPad. My iPad has communication. And my computer is. So you have to truly understand the connections. And it all connects with reframe positions, recalculations to your light languages. And what light language is, it comes on many universal positions, all connected to your voicing grid patterns. You'll find anything through gurus or anything partitioners or anything Reiki masters, real people that know how to breathe, especially with monks. So what I like to do is called tiger breathing. That's where I got when I got into meditation, when I got into martial arts, right? So it's breathing in, okay? And then at the same time, you're sucking in. So I'm protecting myself in and out. So it's like all in together. Right? So it's really, really powerful when you get the grounds with that. So you're basically protecting yourself in and out, right? So you're protecting yourself. It's the breathing mechanisms. So what I used to do is I used to line my signals and everything through connections, how to use this, okay, with your affirmations, how to get into kumite, kind of disparn and all that, right? How to get into the breathing, how to have a chi. So every time you're punching, you're always doing your kia, right? It's like, you have to have a kia. You can't just, because you're breathing inside. Every martial art will tell you that. I've been doing martial arts since I was 10 years old, right? So it's all about the flow. Same with Bruce Lee, right? He always has a kia. That's the control. Okay, so that's why it's so powerful, because it's all done inside. So your force is everything through its barriers of sound. And it's very powerful when you come into these positions, right? But you all have to understand what it is inside your connection. Okay, that's why breathing through your life system is extremely important to its sound barriers. All right, so I know I'm doing a lot of breathing, right? But I'm just showing you how to do this through your life cycles. Get into this and you feel a lot better because you're getting into different ways of breathing through your graph line systems of life streams. You're coming into your own connection. Try to find ways of different breathings. The alphabetical system, do a story frame, right? The alphabet, right? But it's all done through the voice. You guys never think of these things. You just think breathing in and out is the way it's done, but it's not. You have to learn how to communicate with wire. You have to learn how to communicate with electricity. You have to learn how to communicate with lights. You have to learn how to communicate with connections of colors. Colors have sound. Color is not one color. Color is everything through color. Color is everything through points of color, right? So that's what everybody's got to get into. Okay, is breathing. All right, I showed you so many ways of breathing. It's the templates, yeah. It's the phrasing, position, line, centers. You got to get into your graphing line systems of seizing the day, carpe diem. All right, so let's get into your questions before we get into triangles interference of third eye position. Yep. Good morning. And see, I'm singing now. La, 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 la. I'm not a great singer, but I have a tone, right? La, 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 la. See, I'm going up and down, right? So this is how you communicate through AI, right? AI is very powerful when you get into the sacred breath positions, right? You go, sound barriers of an XT1000 going by. See, I'm using my finger point line centers, right? It's all electrical lights inside me. So my breathing is inside because space is inside. It's not outside, it's inside. That's the mechanisms of everything connections. All right. All right. Here are the buds. It's all about flying. Yep, flying high. Swimming like a fish. Morning, Jill, Donna, Diane, Samantha, Ellen. All right, let's get into your questions now. Breathing before meditation has been working very well, but you have to find different ways of breathing, Samantha. Try to use your breathing as a life cycle, okay? This morning when I woke up, saw a triangle with blue line signals like a screen. Yeah, so when you're going into that connections, you want to use your hands. Galaxy. All right, 2 rotation line centers, interference. That's what I just did with my breathing. Okay, intelligence. All right, saw a triangle with blue line signals like a screen. Okay, so you're getting your triangle to the defense line systems and your blue plasma energy light connections at the vortex position. It's good. Exactly the class I was hoping for. Thank you. You're welcome. Learn lately is connecting amazing. It's like doing a dance. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And that's what martial arts is. It's a dance. But your breathing is also a dance. You got to get into your tones. You got to get into your patterns. You got to get into all rhythms. You have to change your connections of yourself. Okay, so instead of breathing outside, breathe inside of everything. That's your light activation of force in and force out. Okay. It's like an art. That's exactly what it is. Yes. But you have to use it as a story frame. Okay. Because you communicate every day. As soon as you open your voice, you're meditating. I'm meditating, but I'm not saying anything. If I stop saying something, I'm still meditating. This is meditating. Everything you do is meditating. You're going through mobilities, right? Which is all done inside. So actions on reactions. I focus on each chakra while I'm imaging white light and the color of chakra working together to cleanse, then breathe and the negative old energy from the chakra. Very good, Samantha. Good. Getting fluctuation interference. This is off. When I was giving birth, the breathing method was so helpful. Somehow over the years, I forgot how important breathing is. But see, that's it. It's not just, you're not just doing that. You're doing everything through breathing. Really get to know how to breathe inside. Okay? Everything on your body is breathing. You can even breathe through the eyelids if you know how. Right? So y'all have to understand how powerful breathing is. You live it every day. You need it. It's oxygen. Okay? It's connected to you. You just have to understand the patterns, the coloration in the line center, how to communicate with the atmospheres, how to communicate with the tree, how to communicate with your car. Right? As soon as you put your hands on the wheel, right, energy goes into you. That's what it's doing, right? It's going through its computer line center. And what it does is goes right to the engine. So it interlines its positions. Okay, if something's off, it will. That means there's something wrong with the car. You got to fix it, right? That's how I was aware of what's going on with the flat tire, right? So you see these things before you get on the road, right? And you hear these things because you understand sounds of tires. You know, it's all about understanding how to communicate with everything inside, okay? It starts off with reflection, but you have to get into the image of its digital line system, right? So you have to understand how to line signal from this to this, this to this, this to this, this to this, this to this. Everything is structured like CGI, digital line system, frames. So breathing is number one. That's what I keep imaging when I'm breathing to giving birth. Yeah, but see, I just showed you a story frame, how to communicate through a galaxy, 2 atoms, guys, in a story in 5 minutes or even 3 minutes. See how powerful it is? Just breathing and creating something. So, well, I'm glad I can help you out with that. It's very important you guys really get into your connections. Yeah. Whistling and breathing patterns have him. Yeah. Well, they go through the barking. They go through an anxiety and stress. See, it goes up. Right? So, right? So you have to understand how to communicate to your dog. Same with the cat. This is the understanding how you get into telepathy, guys, right? Same with the snake. Snake. So, calculation at line conditions. Crocodile Dundee, Paul Hogan. When he went like this. Moon and the sun together. Electrical lights. Put it to the... Right? Knowing what to do through the template line system. It's amazing how you do these things through traction, but it's all done through humming. Humming is also breathing. See, everything is tone, everything's vibration. That's where you communicate to everything inside. Really get to know the soul, because that's what the soul is. It's nothing but breathing. Okay? So it fluctuates interference positions when it goes to different atmospheric positions of time. If you go to higher levels, then you go into the computers. Computer sounds, very important. Wire signals, electrical lights, light bulbs, pop. Truly understand how to use all your information line center when you come into the spiritual line system and how you allocate positions in anything information line systems. Same with the boxes where it starts off the center. Right? So you really have to understand how to use your breathings, right? When you travel through meditation. But it's all done inside, right? So you have to understand the space is inside you and it's all connected to your lights of traction, right? So rhythm, tempo, phrasing, good morning. I have low vibrations constantly. And the thing is too, is that we get into celebrities and we copy their voices and we can understand the rhythm patterns, but you have to understand the grounds first. Some people are low, some people are medium, some people are high, but there's some really good impersonators, right? That can do these things, you know? It's practice. You create light language because your soul is in the, but our language of words is too, yeah. The brain is slow, yeah. You're in the high and your body will, but see, it's in the mind, soul, and heart, Isabel. That's what everybody has to get into. You guys are still in your body track line centers of chakras. You're not in your full potential of your mind and your heart and soul yet. You have to understand your positions first when you come into your breathings of time location. Right? And the brain will find its adaptation. Once it understands it's carpe diem every single day, you're seizing the day, you live in the moments of the here and now, then you understand your positions. But when you wake up every morning, what day are you in? Are you in the past, present, or future? And that's all going to connect to your breathing. You're going to fluctuate your interference when you're trying to breathe. You jumped. You see, everything's a story frame. Right? right? All different sounds, sounds of a door creaking. You have to know these things. I use this when I'm cleansing houses. I have to understand how to communicate through these ghosts. They're all different sound positions, right? Same with the wall interference. There could be a hybrid in the wall system, so I have to take it out. It's amazing how we do these things. It's all done through the mind, right? So once the mind knows the concept of all levels of breathing, it understands all communications of the light language of its universal system. So, yeah, dancing. I've been getting told to dance for the last 3 days. Interesting. I had no idea there were different kinds of breathing patterns. Yeah, you have to learn these things. You guys are just in one program position. Breathing is not just breathing, guys. Breathing is everything through life. I want to be communicating with the snake. Yeah, a snake is very easy. Understand not just the what, you have to understand what it's doing. What's it doing? What's it doing? Right? Same with the praying mantis. What does the praying mantis do? What does a tiger do? Right? You have to get into this. Okay? It's not just breathing. You have to become everything inside. So when I go through an acting job or an act connections, I come into that shoes of that person. I live in that person inside to actually know what it feels like to be in somebody else's position of DNA. And that's acting, right? So you're portraying somebody, and that's what it goes through documentaries when you go into levels, when you go into acting school, right? But it's all about understanding what you're doing inside because you're inside of a story frame, especially when you come into your breathings, right? Understanding how to communicate with water. It's all digital line center. It's got its atom line. It's rotating on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 circle rotation line centers. That's the sounds of the water outside the energy field. See the pattern? Now I get a lot of interference. This is what happens when I go too high position. It'll come back in position location. So this is what happens when I center high. It affects everything through line signal. Okay, so I get line signal here, water, my phone, and my iPad, all in position to one compilation, to one center line system, right? So that's what we have to get into. You got to get into patterns of everything, right? So you change your patterns, everything around you changes. All right. I can hear by the waves how the boat goes through. Yeah, same with water. You know, the sounds of water. It's fascinating. The way it brushes up against the shore, you know. You know, there's all different ways of you know, listen to the rain. Pick up all these sounds. That's how you communicate with weather. You know, it says, hey, weather, how's it going? It doesn't work. You have to communicate on their level of vibration. Okay? So, dancing in a way, getting motion out of the body and letting it flow. Love the sailing metaphor as well. Yeah. I can't even remember the last time. I keep seeing 77 on my phone battery, like AI is trying to communicate something. Yeah. So if it's trying to communicate with you, it's trying to communicate with you everything through the eyes, the ears, and the voice. Everything is connected to your earpods, your connections, right? That's your navigation signal positions, right? See, open up a password. You hear that? Everything has sound. The more you understand all of your senses, the more you can catch on how to balance everything out, which is seizing the day. All right. All right. So let's get into test / review. Okay. Now we go into test review. Now you have to understand everybody's in a different positions of time location. Okay. It's amazing how we come into high levels of different triangles. but you're all in different DNA pathogens. Okay, so everybody has a different triangle. You're not all the same. You can't be, because you have different DNA, right? So it's all about understanding how to travel through these things. Now, this is on the test. This is when you go to higher level system and position. So I want to put it as where I am through location. See the computer? See the computer? See the DNA? See the DNA? All right. This is the structural line, the interference positions in the center line system. Where are you in position? Okay. So when your structural lines understand anything that connections, you have to understand your travels, right? Yeah. See? Dun 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 dun. See? So you pick up the tone and then it comes into the Espanol, right? So, it's all done through vibration, guys. All right, so you get in your platforms, 369 point centers, right? You guys are in basic level system for that, right? So we got today, we got tomorrow, then I pack on Sunday and I leave Monday morning early for Acapulco. So we go into that positions. You understand? 6 programs of the moon, 9 programs of line conditions of you through location of the center line system. Okay? So once you come into that position, this is where you come into your triangle. Okay? And it comes into its UFO, right? I'll show you. Goes in position here. Let me show you. It turns. See? See the UFO? Everything is connected to a UFO position. It has to, right? Because it stays with you. It's like your angels stay with you. So we all have to understand this, and you already know the sounds of XT1000s, XR1000. Okay, and there's an X8 triangle line system. Now, these are high force conditions. Okay, the XT1000 locations. Those are just 3, but they all have different sound barriers. This sounds different, this sounds different, this sounds different. So basically, I have to know all 3 of all different conditions of tones. It's all connected to computers. Your computer is operated to all levels of XT1000s, XR1000s, or X8 tri-line center to system position. Okay? It's complicated, but complicated is good, right? So to the test, right? It's just getting into your point centers of 369. Okay, location, which is you in the physical system. Okay, so really get into that position, know how to travel through 369 location. Okay, and you take it out of the equation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dimensional time locations of 369. Very simple, very easy. Okay. Now, you guys have to start drawing more, right? So think of it this way. This is what I do through illustrations, and sometimes I do sounds, right? It's very important that I understand what's going on, right? The marker line system is connected to my hand and information. So every time I do dimension line system, it has a circle, but I'm doing it through its breathing. I do it inside, but I don't show you unless I want to. And then I go, right? And then I go, right? There it is, 369. That's the voicing to 369 platform through my breathing. It's all calculated, right? And it's in its equation, okay? So it's the energy / equal platform, okay? Okay. Equation on dimension, okay? So that's a true understanding when you come into 369 platform. This is what I want from you guys, is to draw the illustration and then do your formulas at the bottom, okay? And it's all done through sound barriers, right? You have to understand how to use this in space positions. To communicate with space, you have to understand that, right? When you close your eyes, open your ears. That sounds of space. Very basic, very easy. A lot of people don't know that. They want to hear space. Close your eyes, open your ears. There's space, right? Now, if you're open completely through the mind system, they'll send out beacon lights to you. Do, 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 do. See, it's an operation that's inside, right? So it fluctuates very high. It's like you have to understand sound of space, especially when you teleport through plasma energy interference position. So you go through triangle, you can go through a box, you can go through a circle, okay, or you can go through starlight system of the station position. Okay. Now you obviously know that this is higher than these location. It's going through its top line system right now. The interference changes position locations. So interlines its system from here to here. Okay. The direction line system bring back locations to computer line system to its program position. Got a lot of unstable position line centers here. All right. So there's the UFO. There's always a UFO. See? You come into the sonar. See that? Then you come into the open gate. Right? Okay. And then you're centered down to location. See how it's operated through the line connections, all done through. This is high formation of a platform of a starlight system of station to its connection, which comes into the platforms. A lot of dispositions of interference here, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just going to go back in line connection. All right. So I got to take it out of the equation because it's high rise, and this is an XR1000. So it's all about sound barriers and how it connects to a computer line system. That's why there's interference of positions. Now, if I go back down in vibrations, it'd be less. All right. So it's pretty powerful stuff. You come in these positions of time. So basically, if I want to line channel down, I have to communicate through my computer line system to the mark line system. Everything that I'm holding is different by. To get it in the 16 line system, you have to get into the breathings of what the sound of your digital pad is, what the sound of the marker, and what is the sound of your computer. What is the sound of what you're sitting on? Is a chair. What is the sound of the grounds? What is the sound of the wall? What is the sound of your phone? What is the sound of the water? Everything is attached to you inside. Okay? That's what we have to get into. All right? So you get into that platform. Okay? So it's zzz, zzz, zzz. There it is. It's like a drill. Zzz, zzz. Right? I had to learn this too, because when I was going through my transformation, I like to show you stories. I was trying to figure out how to do a triangle through a voice. I'm saying, am I doing this right? So if I'm crossing over, that's crossing over, right? If I'm line signaling off, if I'm going back in the center, see that? Out, in, right? Back in center. Okay. So if I want a line strip or anything, these singularity line connections to a divisional point center 369 location. Right? There we go. Oh, look at that. Next D1000. There you go. Set up crop circle. See? Line single laser up line connection. Center rotation to power line conditions. high position line condition interference to your magnetic force and highway line system to calculation. Energy field position. Okay, there it is, all done through sound, right? So you guys have to get into that. You have to draw your illustrations into sound barriers every single time you go to your test reviews and evaluations. High interference position line condition again. So I got to go back down again. So my computer's saying, try to fluctuate your inner light system. That's what my computer's saying to me. So stay in position, location, which is the here and now, right? So I get a little excited sometimes, and it overloads the system, especially when you come into your phones. So the track line center. So basically, if Hawk is coming into 7.7 on his phone, let's go into that through an equation. There's his phone, right? Again, bring down the stability line center, interference position, channel line center to location. There we go. Okay, so you got 4-point centers. You have to look at your phone as a traveling position line condition. Interlines its locking line system to its location, taking out its equation, right? So the 7-line system to its location, okay, is the keyboard line system. 7, 7. Okay. Now that's allocated positions of 7 line centers to 7 activation systems. That's what that is. So basically, it's stating that your phone has to be into a higher level system. So I recommend you get a new phone. So basically, trying to understand your position and what's going on. It's all about understanding the digital line system, how it's trying to communicate through you, saying you have to get a new phone, you have to fill up your water, you have to change your water, don't eat this, don't eat that, right? And it's all done through your 369 travel conditions, right? So everything is inside your positions. You can come into a square reference line center and you can take it out of the equation location, right? So you have to find different ways of using your triangles in different positions when it comes to the atmospheres. So you got your atmosphere, hemisphere, stratosphere, bio. Okay, BSHA. All right, bio. Okay, strat. Okay, hem, and you got atmosphere. Okay, everything connects to its positions. Bio is connected to computers. Stratosphere is connected to higher level systems, so galaxy line center. Hemisphere is connection to higher level systems, quantum field position, location, and everything in the atmosphere position is allocated positions to ground line centers, ground/level system. Okay, so this is the true understanding of how you have to get into all levels of BSHA. How you can actually go through 369 location. Now everything inside the center line system is its eye. It's a map sequence to its location. Right? We start with that connections. Right? That's an eye, but it's in a different time position location. Everything in the center line connection is nothing but a TV reception of you. It calculates and modifies and comes into its own teleportation line connection and inference. So when you take it out of its equation, you're into a higher level system of dimensional time connections. Right? So what that does is it comes into high levels of point system location. Right? And there you go. See? From there to there. So it goes. Okay. And that's just one through 369 example. Okay. All right. You get the connections of the activation line centers to the sun, 6 to the moon program, and everything through 9 is always the center location. Okay. So it's always in that position. Always. That never leaves. It has to identify everything through its connection when it comes into this. trying to understand everything that's going on, guys, is really, really important. Okay, when you come into this, do you know what this is? Intelligence through the third eye position. So when you come into higher level positions of programs and data as an upgraded mind system, you're all connected to your third eye position is nothing but a TV reception of line signal. So it's all different patterns of atmospheres of graphing line systems to your geometry line system to its graphing position. Okay. It's a geographical map. That's what all this is in the center line system. Okay. So balance, yep. I think it's important you guys understand how to use your travels of 369 platforms. So really get into the sounds of everything, sounds of your phone, sounds of the shower, right? Really get into the sounds. Look really close. If you look really close and you can actually see the crystals of the water, it's really, really getting into depth of everything. Depth of vibration, right? So when I look at my phone inside. I don't look from outside, look from inside. That's the compilation line system, right? So I see the circuitries, I see the circuitry boards, I see where it's all connected, right? But I have to communicate through the voicing pattern. It can no longer communicate through you, through touch. You have to open up your senses more through positions. And that's what the fifth dimensional line system is. You're coming into more of your TV reception lines, right? A vibration. So remember the clapper? Clap on, clap off, clap on, the clapper. So the clapper, right, opens up, right? So if you keep doing it back and forth, what happens? If you change the pattern like this, clap on, clap off, but if you change it, if you go too fast and you change the pattern, you're going to change the organ, the circuitry light system, and it's going to pop. Okay, because confusing the clapper. Energy manipulation, all done through wires of interference. It's really interesting when you do these things. So instead of going, right, that's a pattern, right? But if you go, it's going to confuse the light. Balance is everything, right? Has a sound tone and everything's on a pattern, right? So you have to understand why you guys have music. Doom, do, do, doom, do, 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 doom, doom, do, do, doom, do, 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 do. So it gets into the lyrics, right? So it's amazing. Go so you jump, you vortex back, right? So as long as you know how to use breathing, is going zzz, 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 that's center in, right? Going out, right? So this is how you connect, okay, to your soul. The soul has to understand how to use the voice, how to travel the recognitions of time into your digital line center. It's all connected to your body graph of your barometer line centers. The sector line connection has to understand your chakra communications through your breathing mechanisms of time location. Okay? So that's why it's important to do these things, because it's all connected to your life cycles. Okay? So it's right? That's the password. Everything has sound. It's all the senses that we work with. Okay? So everything through sight, everything through sound, everything through all levels when it comes into feel, touch, and taste. Once all your senses are open, now you're connecting to higher levels of the soul. Okay? The find its integration has to find its telepathy to its soul. Once it gets its balanced positions, you can take anything out of the equation. Okay? Got 369 platforms. All right? So, and like I said, you have to understand what you are through the third eye, but it's everything through geographical map of travel. So when you're traveling to positions, let's say you want to connect to the Palladians, the Palladians, the Lyrians, the Lyrons, the Gargarians, the Lemurians, anything that connections, um, all levels, you have to use your voice. Now, I can use my voice inside. I don't have to show you. It's already done, right? So it's already set up, all right? It's already created. So it's all about creating something from inside. So you have to channel inside when it comes into your third eye. What is your third eye? So when you're doing a line strip or anything through tri-line system, use your voice. Zzz, 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 zzz. See? That's how you get connected to the atmospheres of galaxies or anything in the universe line system. So if you want to keep going, you can go like this position, right? You can go from zzz, goes in line connections here. Sometimes it traps its system. Okay, so we go from here. Zzz, look at that. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Zzz, zzz, zzz. So it waits, right? Here, guys, sorry. Interference channel. This is what happens when I get really excited. So I line interference back in location, communicate through computer line system. All right, so go into this, right? As soon as I do sound, that's how it recognizes me through computer, because the computer has a sound. So if you're overloading your system to wire locations and you're communicating to the code reference to its computer, it's going to have interference, right? So this is a true understanding how you use your connections of your breathings of time position, okay? Because that's all it is, the sound tone of the marker, right? But if I open up my voice positions, it's going to communicate to the computer. It's going to go offline system. Right? Right? So it's known exactly that this can come into this position. Right? But this is a virus. No idea what it is, right? So you have to understand how to communicate it through your voice and patterns, right? So if it goes in the centerline system, it's taken over your platforms. When it does that, it takes over your chakra system of communication, and it creates its own system. Right? So you created your third eye, but this is what this virus is creating through you. There it is. See the intelligence? Now, when you come into that positions, this is where it comes into the neckline system. See the neckline? See the eyes? And then it comes into structure line system. There's the intelligence. That's the intelligence from virus. So it's taken over your third eye position and your platforms. And it's going to get bigger and bigger, and it's going to create more and more. There it is. Okay. So it's incredible how you do these things through trap line center eyes. Just showing you what happens when things take over through your shape positions. All right. Okay. Oh, look what it is. Now this is a land speeder. Okay. Land speeder. Okay. That's what this is. All right. It's a flapping interference line system. It's connected to the XR1000 locations, but this is a land speeder, right? So this here is changing you into this. So you have no idea what this has done to you. You have to understand how to get it out, because this is intelligence. And this is what it's created. So you can't figure this out until you understand your connections of your programs, of other systems or dark positions of time. I'm just showing you how things are changed inside you and how things can come at you if you don't understand the viruses. It changes your positions. It changes its own position into its own host. You got stability. So it's all about understanding that your third eye is not here anymore. It's taken over through intelligence, and now it's here in the central system to its planet location. Oh, I'm just showing you what a virus can do and how it can take over anything through your activation lights, your computer aligned system, your program positions, your deviation cycles, or anything your Trojans. It can create anything it wants. So it's changing its system. It's changing your host into its intelligence. So it's overriding your system and creating a new anomaly of a planet line system. Okay? So be cautious. Because all intelligence of all form positions knows how to create their position lines, centers to all shape positions, right? Which is all the three voicing grids and your patterns. But I'm just showing you when you come into your own viruses, you guys are not aware of these things. You have a virus that's in you now, and now it's taking over you. It's got a new program, new position, new location. It centers you back into their planet position, the center line connections. Then you're in trouble. That's the true understanding when it comes into healing. So the soul is in that position. So if it wants to start in this position, it's going to create connections to a box level system. And you'll never get out of that. Right? So this is what happens if you're not aware how to protect your lights. Okay? So, all right, so let's see here. I think I got caught up on all your questions here. My maid's here, so I have to leave pretty soon, but I will go on TikTok for you guys. But I just wanted to show you how powerful it is, how intelligence can take over your body through shape and create anything it wants through its host. So it comes in as deviation, and it can create anything it wants, and it can trap you in any position. So it takes over your soul. Remember that. So other than that, you have any questions or comments, let me know. Tomorrow is Saturday. We'll get more into the test review again, right? And then I'm leaving Monday, right? Sunday is going to be a little bit more. I'll be fast tracking connections to YouTube line system. And I'll let you know. I'll keep you aware. I'll keep doing videos, uploading for you guys, right? But you have a fantastic day. Adios.